So let's look at some more of these square round interfaces, and I quite like this shape. This is quite interesting, so let's have a look at modeling that. Like I said, I'm not going to do these exactly. It's more to get the sort of general feel of things and look at modeling problems. So let's have a look. So I'm going to start off this time with a tube, I think. Oops, and make sure that I got the right layer selected. So we're going to go on that one. So we want a tube, some sort of tube for the inside, which I think is that. Oops. Try that again. So some sort of tube for the inside. I've got to make sure that I drag out enough of the back. So that's created. Good. Okay. And then we're going to have some sort of surround for that. So let's just sketch out where we're going with that. And I think I might use a plane for that process. So let's do that. And I'm going to align it to my tube center quickly. So yeah, that okay. So kind of like these proportions, so let's just model that roughly. Just going to make that a little narrower, and I'm going to make this guy just a little narrower too. Maybe something like that. Okay, so and let's turn that into an edle spline. We're talking about an edle poly. Brains speaking and modeling, tricky stuff, right? So like that, I think. And eventually this shape is nicely symmetrical across the middle, so we'll do that separately, but just want to get a rough idea of where I am with that, and I think that's okay. I want to model, cut this into this shape, and there's multiple ways of doing it. I think I'm just going to kind of match edge counts for this exercise. So I've got way too many edges here. I just need 8. So let's dial that down to 1 and 8 for that. Something like that. Which does mean that I'm going to need to subdivide it. But that's kind of okay, I think. Right, so what I need to do is create another plane. I'm going to align it to that guy. And now I'm going to just change the width out a bit and then get my center there. So the idea is to match these edge counts along the edge. So let's do that now. So I need 1 in the middle. Interesting that it's not actually in the middle. Where is that? Let's try that again. Let's align. What did I miss off there? Okay. Width segment. And I think that... So I can either cut an edge from this point. I wonder if we can do this. Yeah, so I can either cut an edge from here to here, like that. Or I can cut a square from like that. And both have their advantages and disadvantages. I think I'm going to do this square shape. So let's look at that. So we're going to need some more subdivisions, so let's do that. Oops, 4 by 4, that's fine. So I'll need to kind of move some edges out when I combine these two. So I don't need all this volume now. So let's turn this into an editable poly. Delete that. And now I can align something to something else. Let's just drag that out of the way for a second. So let's just work on these guys. And I can align now that align that one to that again. And this time I'm going to pick center points. Okay, that. And then I can turn that into an editable poly 2. Now I can delete these guys. For those of you who are into scripting, there's a much quicker way of doing this using something called the loop regularizr tool, and this is the rapid tool setup here, which is great. But I'm going to go through like the hardcore way to first. So now we can attach this up here. So now I can attach that guy to there, and then just weld all these vertices together. So let's do that. So target weld up here, target weld there. So that's my square round interface there, and I'll need to turbo smooth that to actually make a circle. And so let's look at. So I'm wondering how much I'm going to do more. I'm going to do in 5 minutes. So you can see this edge here is like a bit creasy. So I think what I might do is add another edge loop in here, like that. And now you can see I've got a nice circular edge loop in there. And now I can start sort of shaping this. So let's drag that in like that. So I really like that sort of triangular shape. I think it's asymmetrical, so it looks like that side's a bit wider than this side, but I'm going to make this symmetrical because it'll do for my props. The other thing I want to do is make sure that I add some symmetry, so let's do that now. And you can see that my symmetry center is off axis like that. So I'm going to move my object out and preserve the pivot point. Something like that, and you can see it's slicing and welding in the middle, which is nice. Just to find the right point, so we've got that now. And then I can build up my edges, so let's quickly do that. I don't want this to become a massive tutorial, so we can do that. Close that edge up there. Now, and you can see it's pulling again, so I don't want to necessarily add a lot of edge loops at this stage, so I think what I'm going to do is clear all, and we're going to assign some smoothing groups. So let's separate by smoothing groups in the turbo smooth modifier, go back into here, and now I can assign that face and that face to smoothing. Oops, no, let's try that again. So to select by angle, so I have that, and that can be smoothing group 2, that guy, and that guy can be smoothing group 3, and then I think we'll make, let's select, turn that off, select by loop, grow it. So you can see it selected those, and we'll make all that smoothing group 5. And now that's a much quicker way of making that kind of shape. And then I just need to add the bottom one, which is pretty easy. So let's do it like this. Yeah, let's do it like that, okay. So you can see I've taken the bottom off here, and so I'm going to need to flip these faces because they're back face, and you see if I go to displays and back face color goes invisible, so that can be helpful. Go back to edit poly mode. So I need to go to element mode, select that guy, and flip it. And you can see it's there. And now I can select by borders. Let's do that. Those borders and bridge it like that. And then I can quickly delete these back faces here. making sure that it don't go through, so it's ignore back facing. See, that's not selected on the front now, and now I can delete that. But what about these guys, you ask? Yes, indeed. I think what we're going to do is add a edit poly here. And we'll select by angle again, that guy, and then we're going to insert like that. And now I can select, now I've got these both polygons selected, I can just do bridge like that. And it's nice to see a bit of the underside, so let's just scale that. So we're not looking at a flat edge here, just ever so slightly like that. And then we'll just really shrink that down. So what happens when we do turbo smooth? Good. Yeah, I like that. I think probably mess with some proportions some more, but I think that's pretty good.